For more great videos and learning tutorials, or to download the exercises that go with these videos, please visit our website at www.createthenet.com. That was www.createthenet.com. Welcome to our video series on Introduction to HTML. And in our last video, we saw how to add a few tags. We saw how to add a heading into our page. We also saw how to add paragraphs of text into our page, as well as title the browser window. In this video, we want to learn about 3 more tags that deal with lists of information. And they're the OL tag, which is an ordered list opening tag, the UL tag, which is an unordered list opening tag, and the LI tag, which is a list item tag. And LI works with both the OL and UL lists. So let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to actually go into live view right now. And you're going to see that my page is split in between my code view and my live view. And I can actually change the amount of space that's between these. And I'm actually going to do that so that I can have a little bit more room over here in my code view. And you can do the same thing over here with your panel if you'd like. You can make it small. You can't make it totally small, but you can make it kind of small. So I'm just going to go ahead and give myself a little bit more space here. And then I'm going to click after my last closing P tag here and just give myself a little bit more space. And remember, browsers completely ignore white space, so you can add as much extra space as you need to in your code so that it's very readable for you. And what I want to do is I want to create an unordered list of names. And I'm actually going to title this list with an H2 tag. So I'm going to go ahead and do H2 there, and then going to go ahead and type list of participants. And then I'm going to close my heading. And now I want a list of names underneath it. And you can see if I click over here in my preview area, there's that heading comes up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open an UL tag. That's an unordered list. And that's all I'm going to place there on that line, because on every other line I'm going to do an LI tag. I've said here that this is an unordered or bulleted list. I'm saying these are the individual items inside of my list. So now I'm going to go ahead and type a name, and then I'll close that tag. I'll type another name. I'll type the LI tag, and then another name, and close that tag. And we'll do one more, and close it. And then, just as I said before, whenever you have an opening tag, you need to make sure you have a closing tag. So I'm going to go ahead and click down here and close my UL. So I've said that there's a heading right here that has the title list of participants. And I've said after that, create an unordered or bulleted list. And that bulleted list should have 3 points inside of it that contain the names Mary, or John, Mary, and Peter. And then finally I've said the list ends right here. And I can go ahead and maybe even put a paragraph down here. You know, this is a paragraph. And close that P tag. And again, when I click over here on my live preview, you're going to see the changes take effect. There are my 3 list items right there. There's that paragraph that I put down at the bottom. Now, the other tag that I mentioned is an OL tag. That's an ordered list tag. Whereas the UL list gives you a bulleted list by default, the OL tag will give you an ordered list by default. Now, I said by default because you can change all of this by using CSS. If you're not familiar with CSS, there's another video series on our site called Basics of CSS or Foundations of CSS that you can take. But right now, I'm just going to change this tag from UL to OL. So I've now said that this is an ordered list. And now, by default, you'll see that the list is numbered. It didn't affect my paragraph or my list of participants. You're also going to see here, no matter how much white space I add into my code, it doesn't affect the actual outcome of the page. You can add as much space as you need to between your different elements so that it's very readable. And I like to add a lot of white space. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more lines in there just so that we can see this a little bit easier. And again, you can also indent in, as I've been doing here, again, to make your code more readable. No matter how much white space you do, it's not going to affect this over here. Of course, that doesn't include white space. You know, if you put a space into text, it will show one space. Or if you have a space in a tag name, because you're going to put attributes in, that will work. But it's only going to recognize one space. For example, if I click here under List of Participants and I type a whole bunch of spaces, you're going to see that it's only still showing the one space in between the characters. And if I delete that, you know, again, no changes. So that's a little bit about how to use three tags, the OL and UL tag, and also the list item or the LI tag. Also, if you're interested in seeing the high definition 1280 by 720 videos, please go to createthenet.com. When we upload these videos to video sharing services, they always shrink the video size down and decrease the quality, so they come out a little bit fuzzy. If you will go to the website, you can see the full resolution versions of these videos.